Hello, my name is Trisha, and today I'm going to be showing you how to do part 1 of the Kaleidoscope blanket by Catherine Bly. I'm going to start by showing you the finished block that we have to create today. We start in the middle with a magic circle. So to do that, you're going to take your base color and you lay it over the top and you kind of make a circle just like this. And when I do mine, I go ahead and double them up. So I'm just going to lay it over the top again. So you end up with just this little circles of yarn. Okay? So go ahead and wind up your yarn however you wind it when you hold it for crochet. And then you hold the magic circle with that hand. You're going to insert your hook and pull up through the circle and then make one little crochet right there, and that kind of just anchors it and holds it together for you. Okay, now we begin with row 1. You're going to chain 1 and then do 8 single crochets. We're going to do those 8 single crochets into the center of the magic circle. Okay, so here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, when you get done, you're going to go ahead and pull on your yarn circles that you have here. Just pull one at a time and don't pull your tail out. So pull your magic circle tight. So I've done one, and now I'm going to pull the other. Okay, now we slip stitch into the very first single chain. So a slip stitch is inserting it into the stitch, yarn over, and pull through everything. And this is what your completed row 1 will look like. Okay, so now we're going to move on to row 2. We begin row 2 by chaining 3. Okay, this chain 3 becomes your first double crochet. Now we do 2 more double crochets into the same stitch. So you're going to insert into the base. So here's 1 and 2. And what you end up with is kind of a small cluster of double crochets. Now we chain 3. You're going to skip 1 stitch on row 1 and go into the next stitch. So here is your first double crochet. We do 3 double crochets in the same stitch. Here is 2 and 3. We chain 3 again, 1, 2, and 3. Skip 1 stitch in row 1 and do 3 double crochets into the next one. Okay, so here is 1, 2, and 3. All of those are in the same stitch. Chain 3, skip 1 stitch on row 1 and go into your next one. We're going to do 3 double crochets again. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, now we chain 3 one last time. And you're going to slip stitch into the top of that very first chain 3 that you made. That chain 3 became your first double chain. So you're just going to insert your hook right into the middle of it, yarn over, and pull through both loops. And this is what you should have at the end of row 2. Now we're going to start row 3. This is what you should be starting with. Okay, with row 3, we introduce our new color. This is going to be color A, or for the colorway I'm using is the Tequila Sunrise. But for everybody, it's color A is what we're bringing in. Our base color right here is color F. So the first instruction that we have is to slip stitch into the next stitch. So while holding my color A behind here, I'm going to go ahead and pick up color F and slip stitch into the next stitch. So insert hook, yarn over, and pull through everything, okay? You can kind of tell that your color A is going to be laying across the top of your stitches. Now we're going to chain 1 and do 3 double chains into the same stitch. So here is 1, 2, and 3, single crochet into the next stitch and into the chain 3 space. Now at this point, you're not going to complete that last single crochet in the chain 3 space because we are going to change colors. So once you get to this point, when you've pulled your yarn up, go ahead and drop color F and pick up color A and complete the single crochet. This completes your color change. Now we complete a popcorn. You're going to go into the skipped stitch from row 1, okay? So go in front of the chain 3. I'm going to kind of fold this backward and go into the stitch. You're going to complete 5 double crochets into that skipped stitch from row 1. So here's 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, you drop that loop, pull your hook out, insert your hook into the very first double crochet that you did in color A. So push it through there, pick up your dropped loop and pull it through. I go ahead and pull tight. We need to change back to color F. So just pull through a loop and then I pull it tight, okay? We need to single crochet into the chain 3 space and into the next stitch. In this middle double crochet, we complete 3 single crochets. So here's 1, 2, and 3. I'm still bringing my color A across the top so that kind of hides it, okay? 1 single crochet into the next stitch, and we single crochet into this chain 3 space. Now this is the single crochet that we complete our color change on, so do not complete it. So we're going to drop color F and pick up color A and pull through. Now we do another popcorn into the skipped stitch from row 1. So I'm going to fold this back, yarn over, whoops, and do 5 double crochets into that skipped stitch. 2, 3, 4, and here's 5. Okay, this is our popcorn. So we drop the loop, insert it into the first double chain, pick up the loop and pull it through. We're going to go ahead and change colors back to color F just by pulling through a loop. Do a single crochet into chain 3 space and into our next chain. Okay, this is where we're at. we do 3 single crochets into the center double crochet. So here's 1, 2, and 3. 1 single crochet into the next stitch and into the next chain 3 space, but we do not complete it. We stop, drop color F, and pick up color A, and pick up a loop and pull through. Now we're going to do our popcorn into the skipped stitch from row 1. Okay, so yarn over into the stitch. Here's 1 double crochet, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, drop your loop, insert your hook into the very first double crochet, pick up your loop and pull it through and pull tight. We're going to switch back to color F, yarn over to change our color. Single crochet into the chain 3 space and into the next stitch. In our middle double chain, we're going to do 3 single chains. So 1, 2, and 3. 1 single crochet into the next stitch and into the next chain 3, but don't complete it. We're going to switch back to color A now. There we go. Pull through a loop so that we are now into color A. We're going to complete our last popcorn for this row. Bend back the top so that we're working the popcorn into the front of that chain 3 space. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Drop your loop, insert your hook into the first double crochet, pick up your loop that you dropped and pull it through and pull tight. Now we need to switch back to color F, so I'm going to pull through color F and pull tight on my color A to close my popcorn. Do a single crochet into the chain 3 space and into our next stitch. Okay. Lastly, we're going to join with a slip stitch to our first single crochet that we started. So that one is right here. Insert in, yarn over, and pull through both loops. So this is what you should end up with at the end of row 3. Now we will begin row 4. Catherine has a message at the beginning of row 4 that you don't have to carry color A all the way around this round. Color A is my gray, so I'm just going to leave it hanging at the back. Our very first instruction is to slip stitch into the next stitch. Okay, my next stitch is right here, so I'm going to slip stitch into that. One hint is that you're always slip stitching into the middle of your corner. Okay, now we're going to chain 2 and then complete 2 half double crochets into the same stitch. So half double crochet is yarn over, insert into stitch and pull up a loop, and then pull yarn over and pull through all 3 of those loops. Okay, yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, and pull through all 3. Now we're going to do 3 half double crochet stitches into each of the next stitches. So here is 1. Go into the next stitch and do another half double crochet, and into the next stitch and do another half double crochet. Skip your popcorn and do a half double crochet into the next stitch. Oops, picked up an extra string there. A half double crochet into the next stitch, picking up an extra one, and a half double crochet into the third one. Okay, now we are to the center of our corner. You're going to do 3 half double crochets into that single stitch. That is what forms your corner. Okay, so there's 3. Now we do a half double crochet in each of these next 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3. Skip the popcorn, so just go over it, and into the next each of the next 3 stitches we do a half double crochet. So 1, 2, and 3. Again, we're at our corner, so we do 3 half double crochets into that single stitch to form our new corner. Okay, now a half double crochet into each of the next 3 stitches. Skip over your popcorn, a half double crochet into the next stitch and each of the next 2. So one way to remember this is you're going to do your 3 half double crochets into the corner, then 3 single half double crochets on each side of each popcorn. Okay, now we're back to our corner. So 3 half double crochets into the corner. So here's 1, 2, and 3. Now I do 3 half double crochets on this side of the popcorn. 1, 2, skip over the popcorn and a half double crochet into each of those next ones. 1, 2, and 3. This brings us back to our corner that we started with, and we want to slip stitch into the top of the beginning chain 2. So slip stitch, and this is what you should have at the end of row 4. We begin row 4. We need to pick up our color A and carry it along the top now. Okay, we're going to first slip stitch into our next color, into our next stitch. Okay, we chain 1 and do 3 single crochets into that same stitch. So 1, 2. On the third one, we do a color change. So do not complete that last single chain. We're going to drop color F, pick up color A, and then complete the single chain. At this point, we're going to do our first front post treble crochet. And you do that in the third of the 3 double chains from round 2. Okay, so to do that, we wind our yarn twice or do 2 yarn overs, go into the back of the post and come out, do a yarn over. I kind of pull my hook up a little bit with each of these so that I'm pulling it up to the row where I'm at. do 2 yarn overs. Now we don't complete this front post treble crochet because we have to do another color change. So stop at your 2 loops, drop your color A and pick up your color F, then complete the front post treble crochet. You're going to skip 2 stitches from round 4. So if we look at the top, we're going to skip here and here, okay? Yarn, let's see. Single chain in the next 5 stitches. So we're going to skip here, and do a single chain into the next 5. So again, carry your color A across the top. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We do have a color change, so I'm not going to complete that last single crochet. Going to drop color F and pick up color A, complete the color change. Now we do another front post treble crochet. So yarn over twice. We're going to go into this post from round, let's see, which round was this? Was this round 2? Yes, okay. So go down around the back of it, yarn over and pull up. So kind of pull up a little ways, give yourself a little space, because you have to pull those yarns all the way up to the row that you're working on, okay? We have to do a color change, so I'm not going to complete it. I'm going to drop color A and pick up color F. You're going to skip the next stitch from round 4 and do 3 single crochets into the next stitch. That should be your corner. Okay, here is 1, 2. On your third one, we do a color change. So drop your color F, pick up color A, and then complete that last single crochet. Now we do our front post treble crochet. So yarn over twice. We're going to go into the 3rd double chain down here, go back behind it, yarn over, pull up a loop, go through 2 loops, yarn over, go through 2 loops again. Now we need to switch colors back to color F. Let's see, we want this one to be over the top. Okay, this is where we're at right now. So, okay, so I'm going to try to hold this down. I was getting a little out of screen a second ago, so I had to like remove everything. Again, now to start back, after you've done your front post treble crochet, you're going to skip 2 stitches from round 4. Okay, so I'm going to skip the next 2 stitches and do a single crochet into the next one and into the next 4 stitches. So there's 2, 3, 4, and on your 5th one, we do the color change. So go ahead and drop it, drop color F and pick up color A and complete the stitch. Now we do our front post treble crochet. So yarn over twice. We're going to go in this first double crochet down here from row 2, insert the hook back behind it, yarn over and pull up, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over and pull through 2 more loops. We're going to switch back to color F now. So we do that, yarn over, complete the stitch. we skip 1 stitch from row 4 and do 3 single crochets into the next stitch. That completes our corner. Here's 2 and 3. Okay. I should not have completed that third one because we have to do a color change. I forget often. Okay, so I went ahead and pulled out that last one, and now I have my color change. We're going to do a front post treble crochet, and we're going to go around this third double crochet down here. So yarn over twice. We're going to go back behind it, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, yarn over and pull through 2 more loops, switch back to color F, okay, and complete the stitch. We skip 2 stitches from row 4 and go into the next one for a single crochet. And then we do 4 more single crochets across the top. So there's 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. On that last one, I have to go back again because I'm forgetting to complete my color change. Drop it and pull through color A. We do our front post treble crochet. We're going to do it into this last or the first double crochet down here. So yarn over twice, go back behind it and pull up a loop, yarn over and go through 2 loops, yarn over and go through 2 more loops, and then switch colors back to color F. Okay. We skip 1 stitch from row 4 and do 3 single crochets into that corner stitch. Okay, so now let's go back and talk about the pattern a little bit. So what you should have here on this row is you're going to have 3 single crochets into the same stitch. You're going to do your front post treble, then 5 single crochets, a front post treble, and then your corner 3 stitches again. That is for each side of our square. Okay, so we'll keep going. On this last single crochet, we have to do our color change. So I'm going to drop that loop and pull it back through so that I can do my color change in this last single crochet. So pull through color A. Now we're going to do our front post treble crochet in this third double crochet down here. So go back behind it and pull up a loop, yarn over, go through 2 loops, yarn over and go through 2 loops. Stop and change colors. Skip 2 stitches from row 4. So here's 1 and 2, and then we do 5 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and don't complete that 5th single crochet. Pull it up, but do your color change. Okay. Now again, we're going to do our last front post treble crochet for this row. Yarn over twice, go back behind the stitch and yarn over and pull through 2 loops, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and then color change back to color F. Whoops. Okay. You skip 1 stitch from row 4 and we're going to slip stitch into the next one. So I'm going to slip stitch into that first single crochet of our corner. Okay, and this is what you should have at the end of row 5. Okay, we have our 4 popcorns and then each of our pairs of treble crochets for the corners. We begin row 6 with a note from Catherine to not carry our color through this round. So I'm going to leave color A back there. You can drop it for now. Slip stitch into your corner and then chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. This becomes your first half double crochet and a chain 2 that will it's a V-stitch that will go into each corner. Okay, so yarn over, go into the same stitch and complete a half double crochet. So you'll end up with kind of this little stitch right here that will go in each corner and has a little hole. You're going to complete a half double crochet in each of these next 3 stitches in the row. Oops. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. At this point, chain 1 and skip 1 stitch from row 5. Do a half double crochet into the next stitch. Okay, we're going to do that one more time. So chain 1, skip 1 stitch from row 5 and do a half double crochet into the next stitch. Do 2 more half double crochets on this row. And now we are to our corner stitch. In the corner, you're going to do a half double crochet, chain 2, and another half double crochet into the same corner. Okay, so if we're looking at what we're going to do on each side, you have your corner half double crochet, chain 2 stitch, 3 half double crochets, a chain 1, skip a stitch, a half double crochet, a chain 1, skip another stitch, 3 half double crochets, and then your corner V stitch right here. So we're going to do that on each side. I've completed my corner, so I'm going to do a half double crochet into each of the next 3 stitches. 2 and 3, chain 1, skip a stitch from row 5 and do a half double crochet into the next stitch. Do another chain 1, skip a stitch from row 5 and do a half double crochet into the next stitch. So you kind of end up with like these 2 little spaces in the row. Do a half double crochet into the next 2 stitches. And now we are at our corner stitch where we are going to do a half double crochet, chain 2, and another half double crochet into the same corner stitch. Okay? Now we do our next side. Half double crochet into the next 3 stitches. So there's 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1, skip a stitch from row 5, do a half double crochet into the next stitch, chain 1, skip a stitch from row 5, and do a half double crochet into each of the next 3 stitches. Okay, now we are at our corner stitch right here. We're going to do our half double crochet, chain 2, half double crochet all into the same stitch. Okay, that completes our corner. Now we do our 3 half double crochets. There's 1, 2, and 3. Whoops, I dropped it. Let's start over with that last one. So there's the third one. We chain 1, skip a stitch from row 5, and do a half double crochet into the next one. Chain 1, skip a stitch from row 5, and do a half double crochet into the next of each of the next 3 stitches. Okay, let's see, get it in there. It doesn't want to go today. And then you end by doing a slip stitch into the second chain of that chain 4. We would want it to be in the top of our half double crochet, but that's our chain 4 that we began with. This concludes row 6. This is what you should have at the end, okay? Okay, row 7. We begin by doing a slip stitch into the corner chain 2 space. Okay, whoops, sorry about that. Okay, slip stitch, there's my slip stitch. Chain 1 and do 5 single crochets into the corner. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. A single crochet into the next stitch. Now you're skipping a stitch here, but you can't really see it. So it almost just looks like the first one. You're skipping it, but it's actually hidden by the 5 single chains. So go in here and don't complete that single chain because we do a color change. Okay, we complete it with our color A. We're going to do a front post treble crochet around this front post treble crochet from row 5. Okay, so yarn up twice. We're just going to go under it and pull up a loop. Yarn over and go through 2 loops, yarn over and go through 2 loops. Okay, color change back to color F. Skip 1 stitch from row 6 and go do a single crochet into the next one. We do not complete that single crochet though because we do a color change, so we're going to complete it with color A. Now we do our first popcorn of this round. You're going to do it in front of our chain 1 space right here, and you're going to do it into the skipped stitch right here from chain 5. Okay, so we're going to do 5 popcorn or 5 double crochets to make our 1 popcorn stitch. Here's 4 double crochets and my 5th one. Now remember, on our popcorn stitches we drop our loop, so I kind of hold it between my 2 fingers so it doesn't pull out. Insert your hook into the very first double crochet that you did, pick up that loop and pull it tight. Okay, do your color change back to color F, and I kind of pull on this string. Okay, we do a single crochet, not into the first space but into the second space. You're going to skip this half double crochet in the middle and do a single crochet into that second chain 1 space. We're going to change colors. Okay, and now do your popcorn stitch into the skipped stitch from row 5. So we're going to do 5 double crochets, Okay, drop your loop, go into your first double crochet, pick up the loop and pull it through. Change colors. Okay, now it says to skip a stitch. That stitch is actually this very first half double crochet right here, but where you're going to go into is this this first stitch right here after the first half double crochet. Okay, so we're going to go into it. Don't complete the single crochet though, because we're going to do a color change. Okay, do a front post treble crochet, and we're going to go around this front post treble crochet that's down below it. Okay, so we're just going behind it and pulling up a loop. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Switch back to color F. Okay, we're going to skip a stitch from row 6. I believe it is this one right here. Skip it and then do a single crochet into the next one. Okay, now we do 5 single crochets into the corner. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, 1 single crochet into the next stitch that we finish off with a color change. Okay, so now I'm into my color A. I'm going to do my front post treble crochet around the front post treble crochet that's just below it. Okay, so we go back behind it and yarn over and go through 2 loops, yarn over, go through 2 loops. Okay, change colors at the end, skip 1 stitch from row 6. So here's my 1 stitch that I'm skipping, and I'm going to do a single crochet into the next one. We have to do a color change at the end of this one. Okay, now we're back to color A, and we're going to complete a popcorn stitch into the skipped stitch from round 5. This is round 5. So you're going to go in front of the chain 1 and do your popcorn into that skipped stitch. The popcorn is 5 double chains, or 5 double crochets. Okay, drop your loop, insert your hook into the first double crochet, pick up your loop and pull it tight. Do a color change. Pull your color A. Now remember, this next stitch goes into past this half double crochet, single half double crochet in the middle, and go into that second chain 1 space. Don't complete your single chain because we're going to do another color change to complete our second popcorn for the row. Okay, so again, we're going to complete our popcorn in front of the chain 1 space into the skipped stitch from row 5. Okay, drop your loop, insert your hook into the first double crochet, pick up your loop and pull it tight, and switch back to your color F. Okay, now here's our space right here. You can kind of see it. We're going to do a single crochet right into this next one right here. Okay, but don't complete it. Go ahead and switch colors again, and we're going to do our front post treble crochet around the front post treble crochet that is just below it. Okay, around, switch back to color F, skip 1 stitch from row 6 and single crochet into the next one. Okay, here we go. And 5 single crochets into that corner stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. A single crochet into the next stitch that at the end of it we're going to change colors back to color A and complete a front post treble crochet around the front post treble crochet that is below it. Okay. At the end, we're going to stop and change back to color F. Be sure that you skip a stitch from round 6 and single crochet into the next one. Oh, wait a minute, sorry. I did not pull that color change through. Now, make sure you skip a stitch and single crochet into the next one. We do another color change. Okay, so on this row, you're doing a lot of color changes, so just kind of take it slow. We're going to do our popcorn now into our first chain 1 space into the skipped stitch just below that chain 1 space. So we do that with 5 double crochets. Okay, drop your loop, insert your hook into the first double crochet, pick up your loop and pull it through and pull it tight. Switch colors. Okay, now we do our single crochet into that second chain 1 space. Okay, so yarn over and pull up, switch back to color A, and now we're going to do our second popcorn in the skipped stitch from row 5. Whoops. Okay, drop your loop, insert it into the first double crochet, pick up your loop and pull it through, change colors. Okay. Now, if we're looking at this, we're going to skip this first stitch right here, and we're going to single crochet into the next one. We do another complete color change right here, and we're going to do a front post treble crochet around the front post treble crochet that is just below. Okay, and we're just going to go under it. So I just slide my hook under it and yarn over and go through 2 loops twice and change colors. Okay, skip 1 stitch from row 6 and single crochet into the next one, and 5 single crochets into the corner, chain 2 space. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a single crochet into the next stitch, and complete it with the color change. We're going to do a front post treble crochet around the front post treble crochet that's just below it. Okay, and at the end we're going to switch colors back. Okay, skip a stitch from row 6 and single crochet into the next one. At the end of that single crochet though, we're going to switch back to color A so that we can do our first popcorn. Popcorn goes in front of our chain 1 into the skipped stitch from row 5. Okay, drop your loop, insert into the first double crochet and pull your loop tight, change colors. Okay, do a single crochet into that second chain 1 space right here and change colors again because we're going to do our popcorn stitch in the second chain 1 space. Okay, we do it into the skipped stitch from row 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, drop your loop, insert it into the first one, pick up your loop and pull tight. Go ahead and change colors again, and we're going to crochet, do a single crochet, skip 1 stitch and go into the next one. Whoops, I wasn't supposed to complete that because we do a color change. Okay, back to color A, and now we're going to do our last front post treble crochet of this row around the front post treble crochet that's just below it. Complete a color change. Okay, skip 1 stitch from row 6 and single crochet into the last one. Okay, now we're going to join with a slip stitch in the very first single crochet that we did for this row. And at the end, if you kind of pull your corners and lay it out, this is what you should have at the end of row 7. Okay, row 8. Okay, again, there's a note that you don't have to carry your string all the way through this, your color A through this row. So I'm going to go ahead and drop it in the back. Okay, and you're going to slip stitch into the next 2 stitches. Okay, so here's 1 slip stitch and 2. You want to be in the in the center single crochet of the corner. Chain 2, and then 2 half double crochets into that same stitch. Okay, so whoops, I accidentally flipped that one. No, wait a minute. Okay, let's go back and start over. Okay, so 2 half double crochets into the same stitch. There's 1 and 2. Now we're going to complete 13 half double crochet stitches across the side. Okay, so, and you just do it in each stitch across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Okay, now we should be at our corner single chain. We're gonna do 3 half double crochets into the same corner stitch. Okay, now we do our 13 half double crochets across the side again. Now I kind of want to go over, sometimes you're going to get lost into which stitches you're going to be going into. So just kind of remember when we did row 7, in the middle, we would have a color change every other stitch, okay? So you're going to have, in my case, I had a gray, orange, gray, orange, gray, orange, gray. Don't let that extra little thing on each of the popcorns throw you off, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and do 13 half double crochets across the side. It's always a good idea to count just to make sure you're not getting any extra stitches or leaving any stitches out. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, whoops, okay, let me go back and recount, make sure I did them all. Okay, so here is my 3 in the corner, okay, right there. So now I'm going to start here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so I do have the correct amount. Now I'm going to do 3 half double crochets into the same corner stitch. Okay, so now 13 half double crochets across the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Okay, now 3 half double crochets into the corner. Okay, and 13 half double crochets across the side. Sometimes those slip stitches are a little bit hard to get into, and you might just kind of have to work your needle into it. Okay, And one more. Let's see, right there, I think. Gotta work it back and forth. Oops, I lost it. Okay, and then slip stitch into the top of your first half double crochet. Okay, oops, if I can get it in there. Okay, so now this is where we're at. Okay, we're getting ready to start row 9, and this is what it should look like at the end of row 8. Okay, so now we are at row 9. I'm going to bring color A back up and across and lay it across the top because we're going to be using it on this round. Our first instruction is to slip stitch into next stitch. Okay, so I'm going to slip stitch over, kind of hold that down there, chain 1 and 3 single chains in the same stitch. So 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to single chain in the next stitch with a color change at the end. Switch over to color A. We're going to do a front post treble, and where you're going to do this, if you come down here in your corner, you're going to find you have kind of a large hole right here, and you want to do it around the half double crochet that is on the left side. So you're just going to go under it and come up, yarn over and go through 2 stitches, yarn over and go through 2 stitches. Do a color change. Now at this point we want to skip 2 stitches from round 8. Okay, so we're going to skip 1 and 2. We're going to go in here, do a single crochet, complete another color change. Okay, now this one is the first of a front post double crochet. Round 9 is the only place where you will do the front post double crochet, and you're only going to do it on these 2 inner front posts. Okay, so we're going to go around the front post treble crochet that's just directly down below it, pull up, go through 2 loops, and then complete a color change. Now you're going to skip 1 stitch from row 8, and then we're going to do 7 single chains across the top. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So don't complete the last one because we're going to be doing a color change. Now we're going to do our second front post double crochet. So come up, go through 2 loops, and then change colors. This time you're going to skip 1 stitch from row 8 and do a single crochet into the next one. Switch colors back to color A. Now we do a front post treble crochet. So again, you're going to come down here to down your corner where you find your hole, and your front post treble crochet is going to go on that half double crochet that is on the right. So go back behind it and pull up a loop, yarn up through 2 loops twice, then switch colors. Now we do not skip any stitches at this point. Okay, you do a single crochet into the next stitch, and now we are at the corner. 3 single crochets into the corner. And this is what it should look like, what each side will look like across the top. Okay? Okay, single crochet in your first stitch, switch colors. Now this is a front post treble crochet, so we're going to yarn up twice, and again we're going down to the hole, but this side we're going through the half double crochet that's on the left side. Okay, switch colors. Remember, this first time we're going to skip 2 stitches on this row. Okay, so I'm going to skip 1 and 2, go into my next one, but don't complete it. Switch to color A. Now this is a front post double crochet, so we only yarn over 1 time. Go around that front post treble that is just down below it, and then switch back to color F at the end. We're going to skip 1 stitch from row 8, then do 7 single crochets across the top. Okay, change colors on that last single crochet. Oops, try not to pick up any extra strands. This is going to be a front post double, so we only yarn over 1 time. Go under that front post treble crochet just down below, and then change back to color F. Skip 1 stitch from row 8, and do a single crochet into the next one. 1 more color change on this side, and now we're going to go down. We're going to do our front post treble crochet, find the hole in the corner, and we're going to do the half double crochet that is on the right side. So this is a front post treble crochet, so yarn over twice. Go down here, back behind it, and yarn up. Okay, back to color F. Do not skip any stitches at this point. Just go into the next one with a single crochet, and then 3 single crochets in the next corner. So 2 and 3. So that completes your second side. Now we'll go ahead and do the third side. Hopefully this is starting to make a little sense to you. A single crochet in the first stitch, change colors, go down and find your stitch right here, a front post treble, so wind your yarn twice. Sorry, I was getting out of screen there. Go down and around that half double crochet, yarn up twice. Okay, change colors. Now we skip 2 stitches on round 8. So I'm going to go into that next one after. Whoops, I was not supposed to complete that single crochet because I needed a color change. So skip 2 stitches, go into the stitch, change colors. Okay, now we're going to do a front post double around this front post treble down here. Okay, change colors, back to color F, skip 1 stitch from round 8, and then complete 7 single chains across. And on your 7th one, we're going to change back to color A and complete a front post double crochet around that front post treble that is directly below it. Switch back to color F, skip 1 stitch, do a single crochet in the next one, and change back to color A. Okay, we're going to do our front post treble. So here's my hole. I'm going to go into the half double crochet that is on the right side, go back behind it and pull up a stitch. Change your colors. Now we do not skip any stitch on row 8. We're just going to go ahead and single crochet in the next one. And our next stitch is our corner. So we're going to do 3 single crochets into it. Now we're at our last side of row 9. Single crochet into the first stitch and change colors. Okay. Do a front post treble crochet on the left side of this hole right here. Complete that and switch back to color F. Remember to skip 2 stitches on row 8. Do a single crochet next and switch back to color A. Do a front post double crochet and switch colors. Skip 1 stitch on row 8 and then do 7 single crochets across. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. I'm not going to complete that last one because I'm going to do a color change. Do a front post double crochet around the front post treble crochet just below it. Switch to color F, skip 1 stitch and single crochet into the next one. Switch back to color A. And we're going to do our last front post treble crochet on the right side of our hole down here. We're just going to go around the back of that half double crochet, change back to color F. Okay, skip 1 stitch. No, we do not skip a stitch on this last row, and do a single crochet into the next one. Now this one happens to be a slip stitch from the last one. So those slip stitches are a little bit harder to get into, but you just kind of work your needle into it and then slip stitch into your beginning single crochet. This completes row 9. Okay, should look something like this. We're almost done. We're on row 10 now. Whoops, let me bring it down a little bit so you can see it better. Okay, row 10, we're going to chain 1 and single chain into the same stitch. So if you're going into the same stitch, you're just going into the base. Okay, then we're into the corner stitch. So I'm going to do 3 single crochets. So 1, 2, and 3. Now on row 10, we do not use the gray, so I'm going to leave it hanging in the back, or at this point, you could probably even cut it off. Now across each side, we're going to do 17 single chains. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. Okay, that should end with your next stitch being your corner stitch. So 3 single crochets into your corner, 2 and 3, and then again 17 crochets across the top. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whoops, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, whoops, 14, 15, 16, and 17. Okay, now 3 single crochets in the same corner stitch. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay, now 17 going across. Okay, we're at the corner, so 3 single crochets into the same corner stitch. And our last side of 17 single crochets. Okay, actually on this last side, you're not going to end up with the 17, and so because we started out in that the 17th stitch. So I'm going to go ahead and end it right there. Okay, and cut my threads, which I can't, oh, here's my scissors. Okay. And this is your part 1 for the Kaleidoscope blanket by Catherine Bly. I hope this video helps. It's the first one that I've made. So if it does help and you guys find it useful, then I'll make videos for the rest of the parts. Okay, thank you.